Waverley, Tennessee, a town located in Tennessee. What could go wrong? Fires, tsunamis, and floods. Well, in 1978, a tank car exploded. About 10:30 p.m. on February 22nd, 1978, 24 cars of a 92-car Lewis and Nashville Railroad freight train derailed in downtown area Waverley. Initially, locals and emergency service handled the accident, including inspecting the wrecking sites of any hazardous material or hazmat leaks. The responding team assumed the liquefied petroleum gas tank car was a double wall tank car. However, it was a single wall car. About 5:10 a.m. on February 23rd, after a previous communication was regarding hazardous materials being present, the Tennessee Office of Civilian Defense responded to a Tennessee Emergency Management Agency, or TEMA, sent a hazmat team to assess the situation. They could, with the local official deep to keep the tank car cool and spraying them with streams of water, and the decision was made to evacuate areas around the derail zone with gas and electric services to the area shut off. By this time, Lewis and Nashville wreck crews were beginning to clear the debris. The tank car will eventually explode, owned by Union Tank Car Company. The number UTXL 83013 was buried by debris. Crews removed the wreckage car, and UTLX 83013 was moved to clear the tracks, and any rail lines, and the rail lines were permanently open. About 8 p.m. on February 23rd, a tank car, truck, and a crew specializing in liquefied petroleum gas cleared the arrival about 1 p.m. on February 24th. Temperatures were during previous 2 days of the incident. They were 20 to 30 degrees, and about 2 inches, 13 meters of snow was grounded by a few days on the 24th. The temperature had risen to 50 to 60, with clear shocks of sunshine. About 20 minutes later, before the liquefied petroleum gas was removed to begin, the area was tested to decide gas ignition equipped with no leaks to found. The Waverley police and fire chiefs were on the scene. The hazmat crew removing the equipped to start the transport. When at 2:58 p.m., vapor was discovered leaking from the tanker before any action could be taken. It happened. The blast was felt for hundreds of feet, a scene for miles, and distributed most of the firefighting equipment at the site. One place of the tank car was launched over 300 feet, 100 meters, landing in the front of a house. The explosion started numerous fires in nearby buildings and torched a number of road vehicles and other cars. Over the next several hours, 250 emergency vehicles completed off the blast site, some far as Nashville and Memphis. Air Source was Fort Campbell Army posts were dispersed to the site, and the worst burned vehicles were moved from Nashville from International Freight. A number of these were transported burned to centers in Louisville, Kentucky, Birmingham, Alabama, and Connecticut, Ohio. Late on February 25, the evacuated radius was expanded to 1 mile in case of a second tank car explosion. By 7:00 a.m., the fires were under control, and search was international. Casualties began. It was later determined, because of visibility problems, we assumed that 5:30 a.m. on February 25th, a car loaded with propane products ignited circa 3:50 a.m., but was quickly extinguished. A second liquefied petroleum gas car was impaled by 10:30 p.m. Local residents were followed to home at 8:30 a.m. on February 26th. In total, 16 people died of the blast. The aftermath: 6 people were killed immediately among those lost. But where Waverley Fire Chief Berlin Walker and Police Chief Guy Bennett, COCD, state investigators Mark Weil, members of Lewis and Nashville Rec Crew, and several residents of the area, 43 others were injured to various degrees. 16 structures in Waverley were destroyed, and number 20 seriously damaged. Both of Waverley fire trucks were destroyed in 1999. The total project damage was estimated about $180,000, equipped to $257,000 in 2024. The NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, eventually blamed the blast on the car itself, as the crack that developed when the car was damaged by the derailment. It is believed that this crack expanded when the car moved to the tracks, originally causing the old visualization and the tank car, causing the single wall to fail. The NTSB remarked the town of Waverley and on its preparedness. As such, as emergency also explores was the need of all people involved in the accident. Cleanups to be trained and how to handle hazardous materials. The Waverley explosion, along with other accidents involving railroad derailments in hazardous materials, the most famous being the train derailment in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, on November 10th, 1979, resulted in major rework of how 40 deals such disgrace. Tennessee and TOCD created a site for hazardous stand at the Tennessee Hazardous Materials Handling in 1980 for training hazardous responders, and since the original format, there have been no fatalities of Waverley, Tennessee responders at hazmat sites. It is also one of the events the National Governor Association studied, helped that push the image of the Federal Emergency Management Association, created by President Jim Carter. Executive Order in 1979. It has been 46 years since the explosion, and hopefully Waverley doesn't experience another explosion like this ever again.